Okay, this is a lesson on converting between percents, decimals, and fractions. You should have something to write with, and you should have the converting between percents, decimals, and fractions study guide in front of you to fill in as we go along. So the word percent means per 100. Divide by 100 to change a percent to a decimal. When you do this, the decimal moves over 2 places to the left. So if I have 28% and I want to change it to a decimal, I do 28 divided by 100 and I get 0.28. You can change a percent to a fraction by dividing by 100. This makes sure to simplify the fraction if possible. So if I have 28% and I have 28 over 100, if I divide this by 4 and divide this by 4, which you can do in your calculator, if you put 28 ABC 100 and it equals, it will simplify for you to 7/25. So remember, that's changing a percent to a fraction. Now let's say you want to change a percent with a decimal to a fraction. If a percent is a decimal, you need to multiply the numerator and denominator by the power of 10 to move the decimal over, then simplify if possible. So if I actually have 14.2%, I do 14.2 over 100. What I'm going to do is multiply this by 10 and multiply this by 10. So I actually get 142 over 1,000. Then if I divide these both by 2, and you can, again, simplify it in your calculator, I get 71 over 500. Now, next part. At any point, if you need to pause, you pause and then write down what I have, so you have these in your notes. So we're going to do decimal to a fraction. We first have to figure out the place value of the last digit on the right. Use this to write down the fraction over a 10, 100, or 1,000. Then simplify if possible. If the decimal is 0.15 and the 5 is in the hundreds place, so this can help you over here in the right. Then I'm doing 15 over 1,000. I'm going to divide each side by 5, or again, simplify it in your calculator, and you'll get 3 over 20 as your answer. So if I have a decimal and I need it as a fraction, in the decimal 2.7, the 7 is in the tenths place. So then this is 2 7/10. So that means if you have a whole number here on the left side, to the left of the decimal, not to the right, left, then that's a whole number 2 7/10. Okay, on to the back part. If you can write a decimal as a fraction with 100 as the denominator, then the top number will be the percent. So 0.12, okay, 12.12 is 12 over 100, or 12%. If 0.371 is over 1,000, because it's 3 numbers, then it's 37.1 over 100, or 37.1%. The shortcut is to move the decimal over 2 places to the right. So I think this is the easiest, where you just go 1, 2 over and you get 84%. 7/6, I'm going 1, 2 over 76%. This is 1, 2, and there's nothing in that. So you have to have a placeholder, which we always put zeros. So that would be 0.30 or 30%. And again, 5.892 is 589.2 as a decimal there. Now, if you're doing a fraction to a decimal, the easiest way is to use a calculator to divide the numerator by the denominator. So 4 is the numerator, 5 is the denominator. So I do 4 divided by 5, and I get 0.8. If you don't have a calculator, you can try to rewrite the fraction with the power of 10 as the denominator. So I actually would times 4 by 2, and you get 8 over 10, and you get 0.8. You can also use long division. The best way, though, just using your calculator. A fraction to a percent. One way to try to rewrite a fraction with 100 as the denominator, the fastest and easiest way to use a calculator is to change it to a decimal, the first, and then move the decimal 2 places to the right to change it to the percent. So 5/8 equals 5 divided by 8 is 0.625. Then I move it 2 spots over, 1, 2, and it's 62.5%. Now don't forget that percent sign. Okay, that's really important. Okay, now what you can do is you can pause the video, go through this part, and then answer the questions, and then I will have the answers, and then if you have any questions from there, you can come and let me know. So pause the video, work these 10 problems, and then I'll put up the answers. Okay, so here are your answers for those problems. So if you have 24% to a decimal, it's 0.24. Right, 13% simplifies as a fraction is 13 over 10, okay? So you can go and check those, and if you have any questions about those, you can go ahead and ask your teacher, and they will help you figure out how to do them.